Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Whole bunch of people sent me a story regarding Amazon. And the version I've got here is from NPR. Ayana Archie wrote this. Amazon must pay over $30 million for claims it invaded privacy with both Ring and Alexa. Now, the interesting thing is I've got some Ring cameras. I do not have Alexa. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a company called Ring, and they make surveillance cameras that are really inexpensive. And you hook them up to your house's Wi-Fi. And then using an app, you can check those cameras from anywhere in the world. And also, if somebody walks up and rings your doorbell, you can look at it through your phone to see who's there, whether or not you're at home. So it's pretty cool. So someone can show up at your house, ring the doorbell, you can answer it, and they can say, "Hi, I'm here to talk to you about a religion. I'd like to change your entire life, and I'd like you to throw away everything you believed up until now to join our church." You can say, "No, thank you. Please get off my porch," whether or not you're inside the house, which is pretty cool, okay? But these cameras are also on at all times. Now, the doorbell camera, some people might go, why is the doorbell camera on at all times? Well, it's a surveillance camera. Why not? So I know people who've got these Ring cameras on their doorbells, and things happen in their front yard where people didn't press the doorbell. And so somebody comes up and grabs something off the porch, for instance, and that camera catches it. But the other Ring cameras, you can just buy them and mount them places and watch stuff, you know? So I've got one pointed at the side of my house, at my driveway, and I've got a couple others. But the funny part is the stuff that shows up in my camera at night is often just animals. In my driveway, I've seen a skunk, deer, a coyote, foxes, and raccoons, among other things. And that's what happens at night. During the day, I get all kinds of rabbits and birds and things of that nature. But here we go. Amazon will pay more than $30 million in fines to settle alleged privacy violations involving its voice assistant, Alexa, and its doorbell camera, Ring, and that's according to filings with the feds. In one lawsuit, the Federal Trade Commission claims the tech company violated privacy laws by keeping recordings of children's conversations with its voice assistant, Alexa, and in another that its employees have monitored customers' Ring cameras without their consent. They're talking about the recordings made by the Ring cameras. The FTC alleges that Amazon held on to children's voice and geolocation data indefinitely, illegally used it to improve its algorithm, and kept transcripts of their interactions with Alexa despite parents' requests to delete them. The alleged practices would violate the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, which requires online companies to alert and obtain consent from parents when they gather data for children under the age of 13, and allows the parents to control whether that data is kept or deleted. In addition to the $25 million penalty, Amazon would not be able to use data that has been requested to be deleted. Company also would have to remove children's inactive Alexa accounts and be required to notify its customers about the FTC's actions against the company. Amazon's history of misleading parents, keeping children's recordings indefinitely, and flouting parents' requests to delete the data violated COPPA and sacrificed privacy for profits, says the director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection in a statement. COPPA does not allow companies to keep children's data forever, for any reason, and certainly not to train their algorithms. Until September 2019, Alexa's default settings were to store recordings and transcripts indefinitely. Amazon said it used the recordings to better understand speech patterns and to respond to voice commands. After the FTC intervened at the time, Amazon added a setting to automatically delete the data after 3 or 18 months, but still kept the indefinite setting as the default. Amazon said in a statement it disagrees with the FTC and doesn't think it broke any laws. We take our responsibilities for our customers and their families very seriously. We have consistently taken steps to protect customer privacy by providing clear privacy disclosures and customer controls, conducting ongoing audits and process improvements, and maintaining strict internal controls to protect customer data. Company said it requires parental consent for all children profiles, provides a children's privacy disclosure elaborating how it uses the data from children, allows child recordings and transcripts to be deleted in the Alexa app, and erases child profiles that have been inactive for at least 18 months. More than 800,000 children under the age of 13 had their own Alexa accounts, according to the complaint. The FTC claims that when these issues were brought to Amazon's attention, it did not take action to remedy them. In a separate lawsuit, the FTC seeks a $5.8 million fine for Amazon regarding claims that employees and contractors at Ring, the home surveillance company, had full access to customers' videos. And some people out there are probably now thinking, wait, some of this rings a bell. And that's because the guy who developed Ring appeared on Shark Tank years ago. And he pitched this idea to the sharks, and at that time he did not get a deal. But shortly after he left, one of the sharks said, wait a second. Maybe Robert. Wait a second. This is actually not a bad idea. And so they got together, and eventually Amazon bought him out. So Amazon is also accused of not taking its security protections seriously, as hackers were able to break into two-way video streams to proposition people inappropriately, to call children racial slurs, and physically threaten families for ransom. Despite this, the FTC says Ring did not implement multi-factor authentication until 2019. In addition to paying the $5.8 million, which will be used as customer refunds, Ring would have to delete customers' videos and faces from before 2018, notify customers about the FTC's actions, and report any unauthorized access to videos to the FTC. Ring's disregard for privacy and security exposed consumers to spying and harassment. The FTC's order makes clear that putting profit over privacy does not pay. The proposed orders require approval from federal judges. So, interesting thing about this is these are privacy concerns raised by the feds, and these are both devices that, as you can imagine, could cause very serious privacy issues. You're bringing something into your house, like Alexa, you're turning it on, you know it's got a microphone, and in fact, it's designed to listen to you as you talk. And it listens to what you say, and if you ask it to do something or respond, it somehow will listen to you and respond as it thinks is appropriate. Well, you know that the device ain't doing that right there by itself. It's connected to the internet, and so there's something that's leaving your house and coming back in response to something you said near this thing. And if you can't imagine a more ripe opportunity for invasion of privacy, now, again, you brought it into your house, so you're not complaining about that. It's just, what are they doing with the information they get from you? And then how are they using it, and how long are they keeping it for? And how well are they protecting it? And so likewise, the Ring cameras, whether it's a doorbell camera or one that you just mount someplace outside, the Ring cameras are also always on, but you put it there. You know it's there. So hopefully you didn't point it in the wrong direction or put it in a room in your house where things are happening you don't want people to see, but you placed it, right? So you think, okay, I placed it. I'm in charge of that. But of course, it records stuff and it does upload it. And we know this because later on you can download it and you can watch it, and you're watching all of this through an app. So you know this stuff is going someplace, and other people must, by definition, have access to it on some level. So I remember installing these cameras and reading all of this stuff and setting them all up and wondering about this. But the real question for me always was, well, I've got, one camera pointed at this driveway. If the wrong people looked at that video, they might see the skunk that walked by the other night. But interestingly, the cameras do have microphones on them. And so if somebody were to stand near one of these microphones and start talking, if the camera picked up their movements and knows that they're there, figuratively speaking, it might be recording voice communication also. And I talked before about the issues that arise when you record people's voices. But again, not going to get into that because that varies so wildly from state to state. And that doesn't appear to be the issue here. It's the videos, but again, it's a big, big deal because Amazon is being ordered to pay $30 million for these violations. The question is, will any of that money get back to the consumers, or is it being sent to the government as a fine? And what's going to happen? You're going to get a notification saying, okay, we've changed a couple settings on your Alexa or on your Ring, and we won't do that again. That could be it too. So everybody who sent this, thank you very much. Ayana Archie wrote this for NPR. Amazon must pay over $30 million for its claims that it invaded privacy with both Ring and Alexa. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Reading is one form of escape. Running for your life is another.